Hello everybody, and thanks for checking out a video here on G4G, Games for Gamers. I'm your host, as always, Napalm Dawn, and today we are starting the first video in Fan Appreciation Week, or Subscriber Appreciation Week, and any of the videos that I'm going to produce this week, I will go ahead and make them ad-free. So, this is one of the other teams that I wanted to go ahead and show you for the Black Knight. And this is basically going to be a bleed-based team. And it is with the Black Knight and Union Jack and my agent. So my agent is running the weather control device, the Devourer, which comes from the Son of the Demon set, the caltrop launcher, and the rocket pistol. The rocket pistol is a really big key to this. And Devourer is also pretty nice. The caltrop launcher is because of the bleeds that show up on melee attacks and the fact that you can shut down ranged. And I have the Black Knight at 14. He is running his personal ISO on Valinor, but you could also make a very, very good case of using the quick summon attack over here, because then you can spread out a essentially stealthy-ish bleed to everybody instead of wasting a turn. Atonement has Energize. Shield of Night, I could put something here. Knocking is pretty good. I have Knocking on the Ebony Blade. For his EISOs, I have the Shield and Snappy Surface. This way I can Atonement when I want to as a quick action. And of course, Union Jack is not really any different from his previous battle. So Devourer, you will see, is essentially like having Black Knight times 2. And Black Knight also will give Union Jack bleeds on many of his attacks because of the fact that they are melee and slashing. So at this point over here, because I'm going first, I'm going to go ahead and open up with Valinor. So now everybody's bleeding and they've hemorrhaged. The infiltrator cannot counterattack because that was a summon. However, of course, he is pissed off. So there he goes, tanking. Unfortunately, Union Jack took the stun baton and he's tanking again. And he's going to get the extra turn because of Sin being a blaster. He's tanking again. He's dodging. So as you can see, he's doing his job really well. He's absorbed hit points. And that's why Knocking is not a bad idea on Shield of Night. And there goes Union Jack joining in on his counter. So I'm going to go ahead and do Atonement as a quick action to restore some stamina. And I'm going to go ahead and whack the power armor because he's going to tank anyway. Now, the rocket pistol is something you can buy in the store, which is pretty solid. So there you go. There's Union Jack and Black Knight tag teaming off of each other again. So I'm going to use the Hailstorm's bleeds. So, of course, weather control device is here as a cleanse and another way of setting up bleeds. Caltrop launcher is going to be a quick action because of the new tactician suit. So now they can no longer do ranged as a manual attack. They can still do ranged as a counter. And rocket pistol is a way to splash bleeds and burning onto the entire team. So I can just ignore targeting something that I don't want and use the rocket pistol on them. So now there he goes attacking the power armor. And finally, Union Jack gets to go. And there goes the Devourer proc. And this is where the Devourer is really strong. Even though that person is dead that Union Jack just hit, the Devourer is an AoE, so it will hit everybody. And there's his pre-counter. So now she's dead, and there goes the Devourer again. So now the Devourer has applied 2 bleeds because of the fact that it is a slashing attack that is gaining a bonus from Black Knight. You'll notice here, Blood Curse. Ally slashing attacks apply bleeding. That Devourer applies bleeds itself, and it gains a second stack of bleeds because of Black Knight's passive. And now that this team is bleeding, watch what we're going to do. Now, that would do more damage, except for the fact that these things don't bleed that heavily. But again, we can go ahead and open up with the Hailstorm. So there is some more bleeds. And you'll notice the Devourer says bleeding ×2, and that is because of the bleeding from Black Knight's slashing passive and, of course, the weapon itself. So the Caltrop launcher winds up taking out the soldier. Rest. And, you know, 4509's pretty solid white hit. If that was a crit, you can imagine that being around 9.2k. So since that was fairly quick, we'll go ahead and do something similar to the previous videos. We'll pull up Arnhem, who is rather resistant to counters. And we can watch this team, hopefully in action, with a really good setup. This is a rather reasonable team to even use on defense, because Black Knight really is not terribly stupid on defense. So I'm going to open up with the quick action. So he's going to kneel down twice, and we'll open up with the horse. Here comes Valinor. So now Arnhem is bleeding, and he has hemorrhaged once. He also is intimidated, and he's been cornered. I'm going to go ahead and set up the flanking so that in round 2, Union Jack. And there goes the Devourer again. So now, really quickly, he's up to 2 stacks of bleeds. This is going to be the 3rd stack with the Hailstorm. And the Hailstorm and the Rocket Pistol have a little bit of issues going with each other, simply because of the fact that the Rocket Pistol applies burning. But hey, that's okay. What we're really going for here is the bleeds. And again, most of this stuff, this is not the most free and farmable set of gear in the world. I understand that, but a lot of people do have the weather control device. The Devourer does come up every now and then when the set is around. And you'll notice it's melee, it's slashing, and it's magic. So that also could work with Null. Caltrop launcher we fired already, and if you notice, we're going to cause Hobbled now because of the new Tactician suit. And there's a Brawl as a follow-up because of the flanked. He took Thorns damage because I punched him. Arnhem's gonna go ahead and do his stuff, and he only got the 1 turn over there. So now I'm gonna go ahead and use the Ebony Blade so that our slashing attacks can apply bleeds. He follows up with the Cursed Blade. He causes Thorns. He follows up with Ebony Blade because the guy's bleeding. And Union Jack could have joined in on that. He gets the extra turn because of the blaster. And again, that Cursed Blade's a follow-up. Union Jack could join in on those, and he does this time. And there's that Devourer proc. And now, if you notice, there's bleeding. Bleeding. And bleeding. The only one that would not cause the bleeding is the Service Revolver, because there is no slashing in that. All the while, we are stacking up his Scrapper ISO stacks over there by the melee. We're causing Thorns because of the Caltrop launcher. So if we look at him over here, his bounding is gone twice, his attacker's gone twice, And you can kind of ignore his stats over there. I haven't really ISO'd him properly yet. I'm waiting until he's 14. And so there you go. There is Black Knight and Union Jack tagging up on some simulator battles. I'm going to go ahead and take them out on the practice range. Well, actually, no. I hate messing around with that team. Wonder if there's anything left in the simulator that would be pretty good to show these guys off. Who is a real big pain in the ass? Yeah, Lizard's a tactician. Alright, so we'll go ahead and fight Lizard just to show you this team one more time. And then we'll go ahead and call it a night. And I still have quite a considerable amount of really good team-ups here for Union Jack. And hopefully in one of these videos, I can go ahead and get you a video that has some really farmable gear the entire way through. So there goes Black Knight having a friggin' shit fit over there. So we're going to set up for V for victory because now we're all agile and we have the flanked. Open up with the weather control device. Caltrop launcher. Now this isn't going to affect Lizard too much because he is melee heavy. But what works out with this is when you fire this, you know Union Jack can just use his anti-melee ability because that's all that this person would be able to do. So you don't need to spend time ramping up the level 1. You're not going to face ranged attacks, so why have... And there goes the Devourer proc because he's bleeding. It's not going to cause the extra stack because Black Knight hasn't used his level 1 yet. But now he's getting pretty screwed up over here because of the thorns and the Caltrop launcher. Of course, he regens, which is pretty cool. Helps draw this battle out. Here's Black Knight protecting, taking no damage. Meanwhile, Lizard is paying for that and bleed. Shield of Night should cause a hemorrhage. And then because that's a counter, Union Jack joins in and the Devourer joins in. So Lizard is getting pummeled. And now because the Devourer was a counter, Union Jack joined in again. And in PvP, that would all be the entire team. The entire team would be taking that Devourer hit and they would be bleeding for free. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video here on Black Knight and Union Jack. Guess you could call this Team Blackjack. That one kind of writes itself, doesn't it? So, take care, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well in the Spec Ops and you're where you want to. I'm currently researching the call for backup, which is the Legion Transponder. I have 2 stars in every mission. I fought Ultron and Ultra Ultron. God, they were really douchey fights. So, hope you enjoyed this video here on Subscriber Appreciation Week. Everything I do this week will be ad-free. And there will be more Union Jack videos coming up. I don't want to give away the suspense quite yet. But again, like I've always said, it will not feature Rocket Raccoon. Because that is, of course, very easy. And everybody knew about that when Rocket dropped. But there are definitely some more to go. And there will be some surprises. And there are ones that you might not think will work. But they definitely do. So, take care, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video.